Hello friends, today we are going to see the assignment number 5 of the Web Technology Lab. The title of the assignment is the Servlet. Objectives of the assignment is first is understand about the basic concept of the HTML and CSS. And second is understand the basic functionalities of the servlets. Now coming to the problem statement. What is the problem statement? Implement the sample program demonstrating the use of servlet. Example, create a database table e-bookshop in which the attributes are book ID, book title, book author, book price, quantity using this. So we have to use the servlet in our program. Basically servlet is the Java client side code which is used for the specific purposes. Now we are coming to the outcomes. What will the outcomes of this assignment? Database like Oracle, MySQL, etc. In the display use select query the table contained using servlet. Student will be able to develop a dynamic web page using HTML and servlet. Second, write a server-side Java application called servlet to cache the data and send from the client. Process it to show the output. Now, what will be the software and hardware requirements for completing the certain assignment? Now coming to the software requirements, first the operating system in which Windows, Ubuntu Linux having the 7, 8 and 10 generation onwards machines. After that, browser, any browser among the following: Firefox, Google Chrome and the Microsoft Edge. Software or the code editor, which is preferably we use the Eclipse because it is when the things come to the Java development, Eclipse is the most used code editor. An operating system which can run among following. After that, the JDK having the version 7 or later. After the server, we want server to run the servlets or the program in which on which we can run our program. So here we are using the Tomcat 7. Is the Tomcat having version 7 or later. The hardware requirements are processor. The processor having the minimum 1 GHz, Ethernet connection, which should be the strong because wireless and the wireless adapter. After that, hard drive. Hard drive having the minimum 32 GB, memory having the minimum 1 GB. Now coming to the part, what are the exactly servlets are? A servlet is a server-side program written in the Java. Servlet is a web component that is deployed on the server for creating dynamic web pages. A servlet is a Java program that extends the capabilities of the server. Although the servers can respond to any types of request, they most commonly execute application hosted on the web server. Java servlets are Java classes run by a web server that has an interpreter that supports the Java servlets specifications. Servlets can be created using the packages. As we can see, the servlets can be created using two packages: javax.servlet, javaxservlet.http. Now coming to the servlet life cycle. Life cycle means from how many phases the process goes through. The first phase is the servlet is initialized by calling the init method. The init method initializes the servlet. After that, the service method. The servlet calls service method to process the client request. The client's request is processed by the service method, which is called by the servlets. After that, the destroy method. The servlet calls this method to terminate the certain program or the process. After that, the last phase is the garbage collection. As we are writing the program in the Java, so Java has the default garbage collector, which is known as the Java garbage collector, which is run by the JVM. So we don't need to manually collect the garbage and deallocate the space. As shown in the figure, the first part is the JSP init, in which we are initializing the servlet. After that, the JSP service, where the request and the response are sent and the received. After that, after using all the or the completion of the program, we are using the GSP destroy, which destroys the event. Now, coming to the technology and tool, how to configure Tomcat server in Eclipse. Tomcat is a server which is used to run the servlet. Now, if we are using the Eclipse IDE first time, then we need to configure the Tomcat server first. For configuration of the Tomcat server in Eclipse IDE, there are certain steps given here, just like bottom side, right click on the blank area. We can follow this instruction and configure our Tomcat server in the Eclipse IDE. This is just a one-time thing, means we have to just do this first time only when we haven't used the Tomcat in the past. So there are certain steps to run the servlet on the Eclipse. The first is create a dynamic web project. After that, create a servlet. After that, add servlet /api.jar file, run the servlets. There are certain methods such like do get. A get request results from the normal request for a URL or from an HTML. From that, no method associated and it should be handled by the do get method. After that, the do post method, a post request results from HTML. From that, specifically it lists post as the method and it should be handled by do post method. Now, reading the HTML from data using server. Get parameter. You call the request get parameter method to get the value of the form parameter. Get parameter values. Call this method if the parameter appears more than once, return multiple values. For example, checkbox. Get parameter names. Call this method if you want a complete list of all parameters in the current request. What are the execution steps? Design the HTML and the servlet files with the next extension of .html and .java. Start the Tomcat server with the port number. The conclusion. Hence, we have performed the dynamic web application using servlet and the MySQL. Here are some questions which we can practice for the more understanding. Thanks for the watching.